Welcome to episode 15 of the Google Empower Hour, put on by KaeRae Gurus Community. This is a place where anyone can learn how to use Google tools to grow their business and get more visibility and more customers. So today we are going to be talking about keyword research. I'm so excited. We've talked about keywords before. I have a new resource that's been updated that I'm going to share with you today. So let's dive into what you need to know, how to find your keywords, what your audience actually searches for, and how you can find more keyword ideas through Google tools that are free. So let's go. So the big question is, do you really know your audience? And we all might think we understand our audience, but do you know what your customers actually search into Google? You might think that they're going to be using these: comprehensive automotive diagnostics, residential plumbing solutions, or even professional HVAC services. Now, these all seem like a mouthful saying them out loud, but what we need to know is that your customers are actually searching for these. Why is my car making weird noises? My toilet won't flush, help. AC not working in 90 degrees. You can notice the difference. Your customers are speaking human, not corporate. So we need to start thinking like your customers. Now, what are keywords and why should you even care? These are terms that will allow you to connect with your customers' problems with your business solutions. And aka, these are your services and products, all of the ways that you make money within your business. But they root it down to a problem, and you are the solution for your customers. So why do you need these keywords? This is a big question that everyone asks because they hear keywords repeated by all the marketing professionals, but they don't understand what is the root of these keywords and their importance for your business. But if you don't tell Google what you want to be found for, then your customers will search for their problem and not see you anywhere. So this is a big foundational piece for your business, that if you don't teach Google the language of your business, aka your keywords, then your customers will not find you because they're going to Google searching their language. If they don't find you because you're being too detailed or using industry terms as your keywords, Google will have you found in those searches, not the ones your customers are actually doing. So we need to get into the minds and think like our audience. And we may have what we assume our customers are searching, like we already reviewed on the first slide. But now what we need to know are the real problems or frustrations that they're dealing with. You know your solutions solve the problem, but if Google doesn't know that you can help, then your customers won't see you when they're doing their looking. Now, this might seem simple, but we need to go back to the basics. Think about your most loyal customers. How do they speak and what questions do they ask you? Use this information to convince Google that you're the best option to help them with this problem. Now you might be asking, how do I even find these keywords? I know I need them, you've convinced me of that, but how do I know what keywords are important for my business? And that we just want to know what the customers are actually searching for. We may have ideas, but we want to narrow this down to hear it right from our customers. So the first way you can find keywords are looking at your existing customers' communications. They've emailed you, they've called you, texted you. You may have a CRM with notes about what their problem or original message was. Look back on this. Start with 5 to 10 customers and see what they were saying to you. Using this language will be your first and best place to identify keywords. Start your list and keep track of all of the ideas that you come up with. The second way to find keywords is Google Autocomplete. This will give you the most popular options that are related to what you started to search on Google and what other people are actually searching. So if you go to Google search, just like this, let me show you. We're going to start searching for a random keyword. Once we start searching, don't click enter. You'll see this drop down of options that are similar to what you typed in. Using these ideas to expand your keyword list is awesome. Now you can continue to put in different keywords and see what else Google recommends. Now this information is recommended because it's searched so often. So these aren't just random keywords. They're going to be the most popular options. Once you do a search for your problem, your question, your solution, your service, whatever you decide as a keyword, put that in, press enter, and scroll down to people also ask. This is a section where you can find real questions people ask Google every day. If you start creating content on your website answering these real questions, you'll start being found when people search them. This is going to be a huge boost for your organic or SEO strategy because answering these questions builds credibility for your business within Google's eyes. And the last way that you can find new keywords is through customer reviews. This gives you a clue of what your audience says about you. I also suggest that you check out not just your reviews, but your competitors' reviews for ideas. Now that you've found some keyword ideas, and you might not want this, but some of you will, if you want to know where to find the data to see which keyword is most popular, you'll be able to use a few different tools that are free and understand what you can do to prioritize keywords that would be most searched and most popular. So start with using Google Ads Keyword Planner. This will give you actual data from how many times the keyword is searched monthly, the level of competition, and the average cost per click for advertising. This will be a great way to expand your keyword list based on those that have a higher search volume every month. But I want you to remind you that there are low-hanging fruits, that these keywords could be very low competition, but have the opportunity to convert more likely if they're very specific to your business. These would be those questions or problems, and I always want to share that it's better to rank number 1 for a keyword like toilet repair than number 50 for a keyword like plumber. Now, we can be more specific and find more opportunities for your business. The next best tool that is free is Google Trends. It's a great tool that allows you to compare several keywords at once, and you can see which one gets more of a search volume. This is a great way to prioritize similar keywords so that you decide the one that is most popular that will generate the most traffic for your business. And if you've indexed your website with Google Search Console, you can see your average ranking, clicks, and impressions for each of the keywords related to your website. Using this data to see where you're doing well and showing on the first page is great, while noticing the keywords that you have a lot of impressions but 0 clicks, meaning that you need to improve your ranking. So start creating content for each of those search terms. You can also use these paid tools to get the same data. Now, how do we decide which keyword to use? There's going to be 3 different buckets that we can use as keyword areas that we want to ensure that we're covered. The first is emergency keywords. The urgency is very high, but you'll also notice that the competition is high. This is what everyone is targeting in their strategy. But we know customers search for it because they're looking for a solution quickly. These people are ready to go and they need a solution right away. Now know that these need to be a part of your strategy, but know that it will be much harder for you to rank on page 1 if you're just getting started. The next is research keywords. These people may not be ready to buy, but they're just comparing their options and they're going to be doing a search and another search and another search. They may not be converting on the first view. And we've all heard that it takes 7 touches to convert a person into a customer. So know that these research keywords are where people are trying to learn more about you and trust that you're a good option. You can see the keyword for this is related to reviews. Focus on generating good reviews to have that credibility that other customers have used you and had a good experience. And lastly, problem keywords. Low competition and they need to be nurtured. These are going to be more of the question-based keywords that help people understand what the problem is so that they can find the right solution for it. They're not exactly sure if they have a real problem that they need to hire someone or if it's something they can fix themselves. So ensure that you can encourage and educate your audience so that they can figure out if you need to be their solution. Now, the reality check, before you commit yourself, ask yourself for each of these questions about each keyword. Would a real human actually search for this? Can you realistically compete for this keyword? Does this search lead to paying customers? And can you create content around this topic? All 4 of these questions really tie back to how will you benefit from using this keyword in your strategy. Just putting it as a title tag or putting it in your description is not enough. Continuing to share information about this keyword with Google will help you build the credibility around that topic so that when you're searched, you have a lot of different content that focuses on that same keyword. You want to have these keywords on all of your platforms: social media, Google Business, your website, blogs, videos on YouTube. Anywhere you're creating content and connecting with your business, include these keywords. Be specific with the services that you actually dominate with. If you're really good at garbage disposals, then ensure you have a lot of content focusing on the details of all problems associated with garbage disposals. Now what? We need to put these keywords to work. There's different places in which you can put in these keywords. The first thing is your Google Business profile, where you're going to have a description and you can explain what you do so that Google understands as well as your customers. Your website title tags are going to be important because these show on Google search and they convince people of what this page is about. Be sure to be clear and include your keyword to understand if you are the best option for them. Your service page content should show how great you are at solving the problems that your customers are having. Ensure you understand what they're going through and share how you are going to solve it. You also need to create your blog post to answer all these questions and go into detail of how you understand with your expertise and all of your experience that you've collected. This is really important for Google to see that you have been in business and are trusted, as well as for your customers to learn something about you and be able to build the loyalty of coming back to you because they trust you. This was just a brief overview of what you can learn by using keyword research to continue to grow your keyword list. If you want to become a keyword detective, you can do so by getting lifetime access for just $8. This is what you can get. You'll get a 5-step detective mission that you will go on to understand your customer and your keywords and determine what keywords you want to use for all of your pages and overall SEO strategy. You can use your competitor intelligence to understand what they're going on so that you can better your strategy and website for your customers' experience, as well as understanding your audience at a deeper level so that you can make sure that at each of their buying process steps, they're going to be having keywords that are targeting them. So no matter when they find you, they're ready to learn and start trusting your business as the best option. I will have this in the description below if you're interested in signing on to be a keyword detective. I look forward to taking on the mission with you. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate your attention, and if you have any questions at all, feel free to drop them in the comments, the feed, or reach out to me at welcome@KaeRaeMarketing.com.